With the House of Rags, in part 2 of this series, we're gonna go over the application of thick. But before we go over thick, I want to show you how I tackle paint correction. We have so many options of liquids, compounded liquids, and pads. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite pads that we carry here. This here, so at the House of Rags, we have a lot more than this. Okay, we have Clean by Pan's new thin foam pad. It's real nice. We have Visor orange medium cut pad. What I like about these pads is that they don't get soft while you're cutting. You have Visor hybrid pad, detail coats blue. Yeah, I did clean that, just use these pads a lot. And then over here, let's look at the other ones. We have the red ones that I like from Visor. We got the wool because I do like to cut with the rotary. On a pad, you just want to make sure that whatever your customer paid for is what you want to use, and then get yourself a good panel prep. So I'm going to show you on a section of the car how I polish it, what I look for, what type of paint I'm going after, and then at the end of this, we're going to walk through the whole process of applying thick, the goals of thick, and we'll do an overview of it. Paint, again, whoever did detail this car before left a whole bunch of holograms, swirls, scratches, did not do a good job. Now, we could chase perfection, right? You could do that. The goal of this is not to chase perfection, but to bring back clarity in the paint, to take some of those marks off right here. Take yourself to the Visor pad, detail coats 15 millimeter. Now, let's talk pressure, okay? This has a great working time, whatever compound this is. Let's talk pressure when you're doing cutting speeds. Just want a firm handshake with this. If this compound and this combo that we use are enough, that is, remember, I'm just using a foam pad, a medium cut foam pad, and look at that. That is actually perfect. Correction, just take your time to find what works for you. Again, the goal is to get the most out of your time, but also to take care of your customer's car. With this, we know that 15 millimeter DA with the Visor pad, I probably go a little stiffer to get more result, but for this is good enough for a one step. The paint's real clean, the hologram marks are gone. So just take your time, right? The art of finding the right pad usually just takes about 2 or 3 minutes. When you get to the point where you've done this long enough, you'll know what works for what paint, and it'll be a lot easier for you to be like, oh, okay, I could use this, I could use that, I could use this. I do want to show you the hood as well. The hood is gnarly. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, that doesn't really represent the kind of damage this hood has. So I squared off a piece of the hood. We're gonna do a real time together. I'm gonna show you with lights on it what a single pad and compound can do. Polish would do the same thing. Okay, I'm just gonna show you though that you don't have to go super aggressive to get the most out of your compounds and pad. Just a good choice of pad and compound would do this work without you stressing about it and chasing perfection. Stop chasing perfection. It'll cost you money long term if you damage the hood or the clear coat because you want it to look the best. They are going to see significant difference in the paint. Again, let me show you this. I cut it first and I was like, you know what, it didn't look good. We're just gonna do this square. We're gonna remove it. Again, we did one pad, one solid. Time, I can tell you right now, that got the paint looking right. I'm gonna pull off the tape so you can see the difference of the clear coat, real time, and how much correction this actually did. And that's why that's all you need. See the square that I did the cut. You can see what it looks like now, where we're at, and they got it almost 100% with just a pad and a compound. And this compound finishes down well. You can see the damage there. Look, you can see the swirls, damage in the clear coat. So all you need to know about paint is it doesn't require so much aggression, the new stuff. One pad, one combo, got that looking right. All right, again, this is the last time I'm gonna say. I'm gonna finish cutting the whole car, we'll come back and apply thick, but this is my process of how I tackle paint before I go into a ceramic coat. It's the next day, we finished cutting the car, compounding the car, And then we're coming back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna panel prep it, but I'm gonna show you the car before the panel prep to show you how much of it we got out and how much of the holograms and swirls and things of that nature, and do like a paint inspection. How I took all the swirls off of the paint. We coated the rims, dressed the tires already. And now in this step, what we're gonna do is make sure that's inside, just so you know that's inside the car. We got the roof. And you can see we got about 90% corrected. We polished the back glass because it was gnarly. And then you can see all of that. We're at the panel prep stage. I'm gonna show you the panel preps that I was gonna use here just to test. Paint tool, final prep. It's a solvent based, has some surfactant in it. We have our panel prep Oblivion. This one is solvent, surfactant based, smells real pleasant when you use it. This smells pleasant also when you use it. We're gonna use 2 of the Mr. Twisters, and then we'll go around. So we'll do this one first. I just like to spray on the panel. I know you're probably like, that's too much, but I like to see how it interacts with the paint. Is it easy to come off? Is it slick under the mitt? I wanna see the kind of results I get. And is it a one-tile type of buff, or do you have to buff it with everything? And so far, I will tell you this, that slickness of it is real good for a panel prep. It smells amazing when you atomize it. I'm not sitting here puffing it. You can tell it was real easy flash off. Again, I'll show you that section here. Yeah, real nice. It reminds me of Eraser. It reminds me of the old Geon. Reminds me of Oblivion. You can tell there's some surfactants in it. It's not real surfactant heavy compared to ADS, Oblivion, Peleus, but this is a real good solvent. All right, we're gonna apply our glass coating here. So I did clean the panel. I did make sure it was ready to go, panel prep, etc. Grab the coating here. This is something Jamie and I have been testing for a while. This is the last revision I think we're approving here. And the goal is to just cover the glass itself. There's only another glass one that I really like, 2 other glass ones that I really enjoy. ADS being one of them. Their new glass coating slaps. And then Envy, which is an old school one. You're gonna let that set up for a second. You'll start to see it separate and go into the glass. And that's when you know you need to level it. The goal of this was to make it super easy to use, make it last, he said up to 2 years. We don't know yet, right? So it is on part of the truck that we're testing. And we'll just see how it goes over the summer, but we wanted something easy to use, something super slick on the glass, something easy to apply, and then something where it just lasts. So there you go. That's the glass coating. I'm gonna go in and then we're gonna do thick on the rest of the body. I'm gonna prep the whole car. We're gonna go for thick. What is thick? Why do we make it? What's it for? Thick is our long-term ceramic coating. You know, the chemist says up to 5 years, but I'm gonna tell you any ceramic coating that you're gonna do can last up to 5 years if you maintain it. What makes it last 5 years? It has 40% solids in it. It's a little more flexible. It's super glossy, super slick. And after the hour, you can get it wet. We put moisture curing aminos in here, meaning that's moisture cured. So for those of you that don't get a lot of humidity, hear me out. If you're in a low humidity climate and you want your coatings to cure, you can level it with your level 1, level 2. And as the last wipe, take a damp microfiber with distilled water, rub it on, wipe it off, and it actually helps it cure. So if you're higher than 25% humidity, you don't need to do that because your humidity in your area is gonna actually cure it and bond to the clear coat a lot faster. So mix your coating here. You see how it's a little bit thicker? You're gonna put a bunch of it on the applicator just to prime your pad for the first round to go, and then about 5 to 6 drops for the rest of that. And then we're gonna go to this panel together and show you what kind of vibe you're going to get. What I like to do is come in, I like to make like a well, and then I come up and I box my area. You could do a bigger section in this, and then you're gonna cross hatch it here. For those of you who like to do circles, you can apply this in a circular fashion, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use this applicator, you can use a foam applicator like this DIY. There you go. You're gonna see it to do a couple of things. When it starts to separate and starts to bubble up, give it a second after that, depending on your humidity, it'll start to sweat faster. Once it starts to sweat, right? Once you see the sweating on it, let me get a light here so I can show you. Once you see sweating of that magnitude where it starts to sweat, you're ready to level. It's that easy. That's our indicator, the sweating of it. You take your first towel, you're just leveling it. You don't want to rub it off. And you'll see it feel real slick on the wipe off. And it's just slick right away. Give it, like I said, you want to give it a full hour before you get it wet. But that's how easy thick is to apply on a body. Finish your car. So we went around, we coated the windshield plastic. Everything that could be coated was coated. Let me show you the car as I talk. Right now, you see the gloss. We improved the gloss. We improved the scratches. We removed all the stuff that was on there from the last detailer. And then we coated this sucker with thick. Now again, thick is slated. We didn't want to put time on this, but we did ask the chemist, up to 5 years with maintenance. What makes thick so unique is the price tag, the hydrophobics, the slickness, the gloss, and the paint saturation it gives it. And it could be wet in 1 hour. I'm gonna show you the hydrophobics here on the side panel of the car. Again, if you like this kind of content, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Everything we use here is linked in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed this mantra of us showing you the hydrophobics of the car. Oh.